You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Bruner.
And I'm Ralph Hipp. A surprise announcement earlier today from the man who heads up Topeka's economic development efforts.
13's Sarah Blake tells us why Doug Kinzinger is resigning and what's next for Topeka leadership.
14-year president and CEO of the Topeka Chamber of Commerce and Go Topeka, Doug Kinzinger, will resign his positions July 1st. A news release sent out by the chamber Wednesday morning did not give a reason why, but stated Kinzinger felt it was the appropriate time. Chamber Chairman Brent Bowles.
I think there are personal reasons related to health of family members. He's got a high school senior that is graduating. He's got one away from college. So I think, you know, all of those things have led him and his wife to believe that now's the time to pursue other things.
What Kinzinger will pursue and any future involvement in the Topeka community is unknown at this time. 13 News interviewed Kinzinger on Tuesday about the Topeka Levee project, but today he was unavailable on a pre-planned vacation. In his news release, he said he's proud of the many accomplishments made in the community.
I'm not implying that it was time for a change. What I'm saying is I'm not afraid of change. I think change in any organization, including my own when I left, created opportunities for it to grow.
Scott Smathers will be interim president of Go Topeka, while Curtis Sneeden will be interim chamber CEO. But as of now, neither organization has announced if one person will fill Kinzinger's spot or if two people will be appointed.
We're going to find the leadership and the structure that we need to make sure that we can continue the many things that we've accomplished in the last decade.
Sarah Blake, 13 News.
The marketing vice president for the chamber would not confirm to 13 News Kinzinger's salary, but said no taxpayer dollars are involved in either position. They say his Go Topeka salary is paid with private contributions and his chamber salary is paid through a combination of membership dollars and private contributions. A local women's health center can begin to deliver babies again. We've been following this story since it broke. We told you last night about a potential agreement. Well, today, the Kansas Department of Health and Environment reinstated the license of the Birth and Women's Center. The state put it on emergency suspension in February, citing concerns over taking on high-risk patients and not transferring clients to other facilities when needed. The center still did prenatal care during this time, but was not allowed to deliver babies. KDHE said today it approved an agreement between the center and Stormont Vail to transfer patients if more intensive care is needed.
If something occurs here that puts the woman in need of more a higher level of care, by saying higher level, what that means is perhaps more intensive care. If, for example, it turns out a baby's breech, we don't do breech deliveries here, the patient would need to be moved to the hospital.
There is a change, though. Norris says that due to insurance concerns, the agreement no longer allows the center to do vaginal births after cesarean or VBAC. They've been the only facility in the area to do them. She also says 30 mothers scheduled to deliver at the center could not due to the closure.
Washburn University's president, Dr. Jerry Farley, says no university sanctions would be issued regarding that reported rape on the campus. Dr. Farley announced the decision in an email to faculty and staffers. The incident reportedly happened the 11th of February in Carroll Chapel. Farley says privacy laws prevent him from disclosing details about the case, but says the college's Title IX investigation included interviews with both the people said to be involved, witnesses, communications including emails, texts, and social media posts, and campus surveillance video as well. In addition to determining the university's sanctions were warranted, Farley's email notes the Shawnee County District Attorney has declined to prosecute, and Washburn police have concluded the allegation posed no ongoing threat. There never was a threat on the campus. Shawnee County Commissioners tomorrow plan to consider privatizing operation of the coroner's office. 3 contracts on their agenda would keep Dr. Charles Glenn as coroner through an independent contract agreement with Mid-America Forensic Pathology, providing some additional related services. The big change would make office staff employees of Mid-American Forensic Pathology rather than the county, and information provided to commissioners states the contracts are budget neutral, though transitioning workers would cost $25,000. If it's approved, 5 staffers would have their county employment end at the close of business May the 26th. County leaders signed a 4-year agreement with Dr. Glenn last June at a salary topping $183,000 a year.
Weather outside has been a little cooler today, but could it mean rain is in the future?
Plenty of sunshine today, though, and for the outlook of what's ahead for us, we go to Jeremy Goodwin this evening in the 13 Weather Center. Jeremy?
Ralph and Melissa, this has been a cooler day than normal for this time of the year, only in the 50s, and we've seen a lot of sunshine. Here's the live view outside from the Parish Hotel's camera on Huntoon Hill, and expecting to stay mostly clear to partly cloudy through the evening hours. No rain chance tonight at all. Our temperatures are in the upper 50s for most of us. Salina has 61 at this time, and our weather headlines, first of all, cold again tonight. Temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Could see patchy frost around Hiawatha. Tomorrow, sunshine and highs in the 60s for a beautiful Thursday, and then severe storms are likely on Friday anytime after 4 or 5 p.m. The highest risk will be in east central and northeast Kansas. Large hail damaging winds and even tornadoes are possible. Your 8-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, sir. A rollover accident shut down a busy Topeka street for a while this afternoon. We got the alert from a 13 News viewer about the wreck. Crews were called just before 3 this afternoon to Southwest 21st east of Fairlawn, where authorities say a minivan driver had turned left in front of a car heading east on 21st. The minivan was knocked over right on its roof, and there it is again with the rescue crews putting it back upright. No injuries are reported, but the eastbound lanes of 21st were shut down for more than an hour.
Authorities are investigating the circumstances surrounding a woman found unresponsive at Prairie Band Casino and Resort. 13 News received a tip from a viewer this morning that a body was found and tribal police responded. Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation officials confirmed a woman was found early this morning having trouble breathing and unresponsive and was taken to a Topeka hospital. A written news release this afternoon did not state her current condition, but a tribal official at the scene this morning did tell 13 News that a person had passed away. An investigation is ongoing.
Officials at the University of Kansas say it's the drug-related offenses to blame for an increase in their campus crime. KU's Public Safety Office reports a nearly 25% increase in crime on campus from 2013 to 2014, that they had handled 834 criminal offenses last year compared with 670 the previous year. They attribute the rise of drug-related offenses to a KU public safety effort to train student housing employees to recognize illegal activity and identify the drugs that are being used. Officials say violent crime, that was only up 1% of all the categories of crimes reported.
A local artist is being honored for his commitment to the craft. You'll see how coming up.
And when we return with more 13 News, military members transitioning out of the military are getting help with their job search. Back after this break with the story.
You're watching 13 News at 6 with Melissa Bruner and Ralph Hipp. 13 News, Kansas News Leader. You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Fort Riley hosted one of its largest career fairs on post this morning.
To get post-military back to work, 13's Monty Thompson now with the story.
For the 7th consecutive year, the Hiring Heroes Career Fair returned to Fort Riley to assist wounded warriors and those leaving the Army as they begin transitioning to civilian life. The fair provides job seekers with opportunities in national companies, the surrounding Flint Hills region, and Department of Defense careers.
Everybody just comes out and says, I want to help. You know, people that we didn't even know about show up today and say, what do you need me to do? Where can you put me? And these soldiers come here with the understanding that these guys are here for them.
Each year, nearly 90 employers pack into Fort Riley's Conference Center to extend job opportunities to those who have served our country. Most of the recruiters on hand were formerly in the military and know just how much veterans can offer to their organization.
We know the value that to the workforce. We're trying throughout our organization to re-emphasize that hiring a veteran is a good thing because they bring characteristics to the workforce that you're not going to just find in a regular citizen.
And last year, Hiring Heroes workshops prepared over 1,200 service members, veterans, and their spouses for their transition into the civilian workforce. Monty Thompson, 13 News.
Thank you, Monty. One Topekan received a special honor today for his contribution to the arts. Every year, the Aaron Douglas Art Fair Committee selects a featured artist and work to represent the event. For the 10th anniversary, they've selected Jordan Brooks, who's lived in the Topeka area his whole life. Brooks says he's studied art as long as he can remember and was inspired by his mother and Aaron Douglas himself. The Aaron Douglas Art Fair will be Saturday, September 26th. The committee will also have an unveiling party for Brooks at PT's Coffee coming up this Friday at 6:30 p.m. About that time on Friday, unfortunately, we'll have to keep a close eye to the weather. We'll have a look at those storm chances coming our way.
Particularly something we want to share with you about tomorrow, and Jeremy's back with the details after this.
Is your 13 weather forecast with Jeremy Goodwin.
Plenty of sunshine across the area today, more of the same tomorrow, and then severe storms are possible on Friday. Let's check out the high temperatures from this afternoon. They were well below average, and average high will be the upper 60s. We saw 58 in Topeka, Manhattan 59 this afternoon, and Concordia saw the high temperature at 56 degrees today. So those numbers are below what's average. 68 degrees considered normal for this date. The record high 94 back in 1953. It's been as cold as 26. This morning was certainly cold at 37, but nowhere near the record, and also nowhere near the average of what would be 46 degrees. So we were cold all day long. Capitol Federal Skycam looking outside, plenty of sunshine. It has been a cool day. The sunshine will continue tomorrow and temperatures a little warmer. The wind's currently calm, dew point 24, and the pressure has been steady much of the day. There are the latest temperatures, 58 for Lawrence, 58 in Manhattan. Emporia has 59. Zooming out across the state, everybody is dry in Kansas right now. No rain in northeast Kansas, but the chances of storms will arrive as we get into Friday. Some of them could be strong or even severe. Tonight, cold again. Temperatures very similar to what we had this morning, dropping into the upper 30s and even some mid-30s. Hiawatha down to 34 by tomorrow morning. May see some patchy frost along Highway 36 early tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, a beautiful day, sunshine, high temperatures in the middle 60s. And then severe storm chances arrive on Friday between 4 p.m. and about midnight. The Storm Prediction Center, part of the National Weather Service, putting a fairly moderate risk across much of eastern Kansas for damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes on Friday evening. Here's the timing on this. We're dry on Thursday, and then Friday, here's 5 p.m. Thunderstorms developing in central Kansas, likely to become severe, and that will make its way east and northeast into our area through the evening hours. And there will be enough rotation with this that the risk of tornadoes will exist. Here's why. Looking a little closer, there'll be a warm front at the surface. Just below the warm front, the winds coming in from the south, and then right up against the warm front, winds coming in from the southeast. Now aloft at the jet stream level, the winds will be coming in from the southwest, so we'll have a crisscrossing of those winds and also a lot of jet stream energy. These winds aloft will be up to 160 to 170 miles per hour. That's 5 to 6 miles up in the sky, so way up there, but still that southeast wind at the surface, southwest wind aloft will mean enough rotation that some of these storms could produce tornadoes in our area Friday evening. Again, anytime from 4 p.m. until about midnight. We'll need to watch very closely. 39 tonight. Will be cold again tomorrow. The temperature tops out in the upper 60s. 8-day forecast. Severe storm risk on Friday. We'll have coverage right here on the WIBW channels, of course, social media. You can also track the storms on the WIBW News app. And then rain this weekend should not be severe, but Friday does look to be somewhat dangerous.
Okay, we will continue to advise you as we get closer to Friday and about what time of day that'll be. We're going to hear in a moment from the Kansas City Royals looking to get that series sweep tonight against the Minnesota Twins.
Also, a piece of the Eisenhower tree is now in Kansas. The connection next.
Sports with Chris Lilly.
Hello everyone, the Masters is over, yes, but a big day for the state of Kansas. A piece of the historic Eisenhower tree has made its way to Abilene. And here it is being unveiled. The famous, or maybe infamous, Eisenhower tree sat on the 17th hole, frustrating golfers for years, including President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who considered Abilene, Kansas his home. But how'd the tree get here?
Well, this is really fantastic. You would not believe the number of letters and emails we received in February of 2014 when the news broke that an ice storm had brought down the Eisenhower tree at Augusta National, and everybody wanted us to know and see if we could get a part of it.
We have like a 5-year history with the folks in Augusta National. I went there about 3 or 4 years ago about doing a program with them, and at the time we took a little drive down to see the tree, because it has such historical significance. Right?
And we'll have more on that at 10 o'clock tonight. Former KU Jayhawks Marcus and Markeith Morris have been indicted on felony aggravated assault charges. The Morrises, who now play for the Phoenix Suns, were indicted by a Maricopa County grand jury. According to the Phoenix police report, the Morris brothers and 3 other men attacked 36-year-old Eric Hood by repeatedly punching and kicking him. Hood says he suffered a fractured nose and a large bump on his head. The 6'9" twins became teammates in 2013 when Marcus was traded to the Suns. Their first court appearance is set for May 7th. And exactly a month from today, the NHRA Nationals will be at the Heartland Park as a part of the NHRA Mellow Yellow Racing Series. There will be Top Fuel Funny Car and Pro Stock races during the Memorial Day weekend. This is the 27th annual NHRA Kansas Nationals. The Force team and John Force, who has 9 wins, will be in Topeka. The Mellow Yellow Series qualifying begins Friday. The final eliminations are scheduled for 11 a.m. on Sunday, May 25th. Lots of great competition right here in Topeka. The big winners last year, Spencer Massey, Courtney Force, and Alan Johnson. And the Kansas City Royals are tied for the league's best record, and tonight they wrap up their series against the Minnesota Twins. Here's how they feel.
Each day like a new day, and you know, when you keep that focus each and every day and not get too far ahead of yourselves as a team, I think it really does a lot of good for you. And you know, we have a lot of leaders in here that make sure everyone's focused on tonight's game and really keep that same intensity each and every night.
We've had some intense series, but I think that's brought out the best in us. And you know, it feels like the city is rallied around us, and they enjoy the way we're playing. We're an entertaining team, and keep it going.
I know they've been exciting this year, and that's it for sports. Ralph and Melissa, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you. 7:10 start time for the contest tonight. We'll, of course, have highlights later on at 10.
Right now, we'll be back with a look at your forecast and those storm chances from Jerry.
This is your 13 weather forecast.
Dry, sunny, and 60s tomorrow, but severe storms are likely on Friday. Possibly large hail damaging winds and even tornadoes are a potential for northeast Kansas on Friday in the evening hours. A closer look at Supercast shows positioning of a warm front in our area that would be the focus mechanism for the potential of tornadoes. Our area again Friday from 5 o'clock until about midnight. Tomorrow's a nice day. The severe weather risk will be on Friday. Late afternoon into the evening hours and probably even late Friday night. Saturday and Sunday we have rain chances, but non-severe with highs in the 60s.
Okay. Once again, keep it right here. We're always on Twitter and WIBW.com with the updates too.
Stay tuned now for Wheel of Fortune. It's coming up next for you tonight.
And then into our CBS Wednesday night. We'll be here again at 10 and hope you will be too. Good night.
Get the latest news, weather, and sports on WIBW.com or follow WIBW on Twitter and Facebook. WIBW TV, Heartland Regional Emmy Award for Evening Newscast.